I'm Michelle Lorenzo, here to remind you why it's important to remember Purple Heart Day. The Purple Heart is one of the oldest military decorations and is presented to service members who were injured while serving our country. Families and their fallen loved ones are recognized as well. It is considered one of the highest levels of honor, but it comes with a heavy burden to live with, especially for those who experience combat and survived.
We don't ask for that medal.
Sergeant Lazaro Camarillo III has been recognized and awarded numerous medals for his service, including a Bronze Star of Valor and 2 Purple Hearts. But when he wears his decorations, it reminds him of some of the worst days he went through in the past to protect our country's future.
We were young. A lot of young men die, and sometimes it's hard to let it go.
Camarillo was drafted into the U.S. Army in 1968, and during his time in service, he found himself fighting for his life in Vietnam.
They teach us how to survive, they teach us how to kill, how to defend ourselves. One thing that the government didn't teach us is to become animals, and that's what we become. Lorenzo, we become animals.
Camarillo has told his stories of his brutal experiences countless times before. But despite being featured on numerous broadcasts and headlines throughout the years, he said talking about his time in combat never gets easier.
It's very hard for me to continue to do this, but I do it because I do it for the one who didn't make it back to the world. If we don't remember, we're going to forget, and we cannot forget them. We don't forget our brothers and sisters. We need to know who we are, where we come from, and what we stand for.
Camarillo has dedicated his life to not only serving our country, but also serving fellow veterans. He's volunteered at the VA, joined groups and organizations which support veterans. On top of that, the Vietnam vet was also elected as the Texas Department Commander for the Military Order of the Purple Heart.
I love my country, and I like the red, white, and blue. If I gotta go all over again, I will do it all over again. That's the bottom line.
Camarillo believes it is important for other veterans to share their stories. He is encouraging people to take time to listen and understand a veteran as well, and also show appreciation for their sacrifices and service. Reporting from the studio, Michelle Lorenzo, KRIS 6 News.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Well, ahead of Purple Heart Day, the Mayor's Committee of Veterans Affairs held a ceremony Saturday honoring a group of service members. 15 recipients were awarded a Purple Heart for their commitment and sacrifice. Martin Longoria, a member of Purple Heart Chapter 598, was in attendance along with several other veterans. They were also joined by families of those recipients.
This is something that, is celebrated on August the 7th, but, we're doing it here early to recognize, those recipients that live here in the Coastal Bend, with their, they've been awarded the Purple Heart.
Longoria says Purple Heart Chapter 598 meets and reflects on their experiences during their service. They offer support to one another.